Welcome back, crypto enthusiasts that are probably like, what the heck is going on? The Ethereum merge is supposed to be this super bullish sentiment, and we are tanking. There lies the issue, is we're tanking, right? I've been around long enough to know that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So you just kind of ebb and flow with it. And I am incredibly bullish still, with Bitcoin being under 20,000. Oh gosh. I can't help but want to go long right now. I can't help but want to go long. Last night, I told you guys that I re-entered the market, and I am down now. I am down. My stop is still on a current trade underneath 18,000, and I feel like that's a strong area. That's a strong area that I don't think we're going to touch. Truthfully, this Ethereum merge, everyone is saying it's today, and yeah, I guess it is today, but for most people in the United States, it's like bedtime when the merge actually happens. For the rest of the world, it's not going to be until the next day. But we have, what is this, 10 hours and 59 minutes left before it actually goes. And personally, this, to me, is look, we're hovering right, we're bouncing right back up to 20,000 here right now. To me, this is a good entry point for myself, right? To add to, I'm going to be a dickhead here for a second and say add to a losing position, which is something you never do. You never do. However, there's few times in at least my trading career where I've kind of went against the grain a little bit, against my rules, which never is supposed to happen. But there's few times when you're willing to bet big here. And I'm not going to bet big to where I am 10% of my portfolio or anything like that. I'm thinking I might add another 1% to my trade. Add another 1% to my trade just because of this news here. Just because of this news, because this is just such an interesting event that's happening, because it is the most important event in crypto history, right? Since 2011, when Bitcoin was, first invented here. And the areas that I'm watching, because like what my thumbnail said is, what are the areas that I am watching? Well, the areas I'm watching is obviously 20,000, right? And Bitcoin likes to play in an area of a pretty big box, So, within like $1,000 range is usually where it likes to hang out, because you see these long wicks. These long wicks are the areas that you might think, hey, this is a good level, and then boom, 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 goes all the way down, right? This is just big money getting involved because of the sheer fact that, big money can move the market, because this is not the stock market, okay? This isn't the stock market where you have $25 trillion just sitting there. This is Bitcoin and crypto, where you have $1 trillion in there, right? Well, less than that. You have $987 billion. So it's very easy for big money to talk to each other and manipulate the market. I'm bullish, guys. I am bullish. We can see that, we have a tweezer, a spinning top here. It's not a tweezer. Tweezer's down here. This is a spinning top candle, which just tells you that, hey, buyers and sellers don't know what the heck to do. They're fighting. Sellers want to push this down all the way to new lows. Buyers want to hold it up, like myself. I'm a buyer because I am going long. And to me, this is a fairly decent entry for myself. Right around 20,000. Yeah, it is risky, but all trading is risky. Again, because of the sheer fact that we've got, so much volume in the way here, that if this does break back up above 20,500-ish, which isn't very far, right? This got close. It got close. We got to 20,518, and then it kind of retraced. Right? And retraced. That's very interesting as to where all the volume is here. That was the last little effort, I guess it's like a brick wall, that resistance there. And I know I sound like a dead horse when I'm talking about this stuff because really nothing has been happening. You know, we've been not moving like we should be in a bull or bear market. This to me is a reversal. This whole idea has been a reversal because we've got a low, we've got a lower low, then we've got a tweezer bottom here. And then so far, if this ends up playing out, this guy right here is going to be a higher low, which then, you know, I guess I could use a ghost, but boom, 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 boom. Then we could have a higher high, then another higher low, and higher high, then higher low. You know, that is a trending market, and that is what I'm betting on. That is exactly what I'm betting on. On Ethereum, my trade is back being profitable, right? Because we are bouncing right off this crazy level here, this crazy level of 1550. 1550 is just acting as a lot of support, at least here on the daily. And guys, what does that look like to you as well on the daily? Again, here's a low, higher low, right? This would even be an even higher low. That's a trending market. So just by that, we would need to get up above, another high. Ideally, it'd be like 1900, and that's what I'm betting on. That is exactly what I'm betting on. Stochastics, you could use all these indicators. I mean, shit. Like here, we could even go use silly stuff that's just too much on the chart here, just way too much on the chart, and these silly market cipher stuff, because all this is you just got money flow. It's got a bunch of different indicators stacked on top of each other between RSI, stochastics RSI, and you know, these little green dots are just crosses of those, right? You know, and you can't trade off of these, right? As much as you want to be like, hey, the market's got to be it's got to be such a big trend for you to be able to go off of just these simple indicators like this, you know. But I know they got real popular in crypto here recently, you know, within the last year or so. I love the dude that created it. He's more of a genius for creating an indicator and selling it for being rather expensive, like $700 for the indicator. I can show you guys how to get these indicators for free, you know, because it's not that difficult, because again, it's stuff stacked on top of each other, indicators, you know. And I'm a kind of guy that doesn't like a shit ton of indicators. I would say probably my favorite indicator is, you know, the volume profile, the guy on my right hand side. That kind of shows you where resistance and, you know, just resistance and support levels are, where all the money is. But it makes sense. You know, here's all the money is just sitting here, right? You know, we break above this area. There's not much left in the way to hold it. And then if I zoom out here, dun, 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 you know, it's telling me it's fairly decent all the way up to, this is 3,000 on Ethereum. Like, there's really not much going on Ethereum there. On Bitcoin, you know, tells you it's very easy to read on Bitcoin that, hey, you know, 28,000 to 30,000, this box here, that is going to be a strong level of resistance. Very simple to read. And then the next one is 40,000. Again, that's like a psychological level, right? 40,000. So you'd be safer to be betting on those stuff, right? But I guess I could even go on the bottom of this, right? I might have to zoom way the heck out here to see where the next level of support really is on at least the volume goes, and that's 10 grand. So that's where a lot of people are saying that, hey, crypto has potentially being caught here at 10 grand because there's not a whole lot in the way to hold it up if it drops below the levels it's dropped below. I don't think it's going to drop below this area because there's just so much money here. So much money here. So without being repetitive, right? Okay, we went all the way down to 19,050. That happened quickly. Let me look at the 1 hour here, and so I can zoom out and see here. Let me get rid of this guy so it's just easy to read, right? Boom, look at that. This is turning into a hammer candle. That's a bullish candle. Yes, it's red, okay? But that is a bullish candle. Yes, again, it is red, but this is a bullish candle on the 1 hour. Why is it a bullish candle? Does anybody know? Anybody in the chat? Anybody know why it's a bullish candle? Well, I'm going to tell you. Why it's a bullish candle is because of the wick. Because it said, hey, we opened here, went down all the way to 19,600, and then now the buyers are coming back up and do. It's closing here in 18 minutes, and I perceive this guy even getting up to here where it closes. That's a bullish candle. That's something that again, just bullish. Like here's another hammer candle, right? Boom. What happened afterwards? Price went up. It didn't go up for very long, but it still went up. Can I look at some other candles? But that's like one small indicator. Then you got to look at other stuff. All right. So here's the stochastic cross. And I bet if I go over to my wannabe market cipher, it's going to tell me, hey, look, there's like a green dot here. So let's see. Let's just see. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to save it. So on the 1 hour, ooh, no green dot yet. Okay, but it's all leading up to potentially popping over a green dot because this is RSI stochastic, so it's a little bit more of a delayed indicator than just my previous stochastics. So that's why it hasn't pulled the green dot. But anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to show you there. And I guess if I'm just looking at anything else here, what do I want to look at? Oh, I've got my drawings going here. Support, that's Ethereum, Bitcoin. Oh, well, wait, was I even on Bitcoin when I went to Market Cipher? Or did it just go back to Ethereum? Yeah, it went back to Ethereum. That's a problem. Yep, you can see still no green dot here. Still no green dot. That's okay. But those are always delayed because the thing about these kind of indicators is price can move. It can show you one of those fancy green dots, which is just a cross, and then price can move back down, and then it'll delete it from here. So, that's why I'm a big proponent into having good stops rather than entries, because if you have a good stop, that means you have more likely of the trade. It's money management, okay? It's just pure money management. But what do I suspect is happening here in the next 10 hours, okay? We could just close as a red day. But here, it's getting very close. Here in the next couple days, I predict that we're going to have a pump, and I am betting that we have a pump. I'm betting we have a pump because look at the support we're holding off of, right? We're holding off of this support. And the range here is relatively on the hour for Ethereum. We're looking at pretty much a ceiling of right around 1,600. 1,600, maybe 20-ish. But again, I told you the range, it varies, okay? So this, if you're playing support and resistance game, you could absolutely, open up a trade on support and you could play it through resistance as a take profit. Don't sell everything because there could be a chance that it pumps up to the next level, right? But then you need to have a good stop. That's why I end up teaching people a lot about stops because people don't have stops, especially I do have a Bybit link on the bottom here, but people don't understand. You got to pay attention to your liquidation area, right? And you need to make sure that your liquidation area isn't just in an arbitrary spot. You know, where you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to bet $30 and I'm just hoping that it's going to go up. You could win. That's not a good way to trade. If you're going to bet $30, you need to make sure that your leverage is low enough to make sure that you are wrong. Again, where would I put a stop if I was trading off the 1 hour? If I was trading off of this bounce off of support here. 30 minutes, let's see what it's, let me look in. Dang it, let me zoom in. So again, it's hard to argue here on the 30 minutes, it's that same level, right? Same range. We're trading in a range, okay? Boom, there's our range. So if I am buying an entry on, here, I guess I was gonna write a text, but I can just tell you guys. Dun, dun, dun. I like kites. Dun, dun, dun. Leverage scares me. Venture warrior, leverage should scare you. Leverage actually scares you, but it's how people can, it's how you can expedite your profits and also your losses. It goes both ways. And a lot of people leverage their houses. They do all sorts of stuff. You know, that's what a loan is basically, is you're leveraging your money, right? Big banks, hedge funds, they do it all the time. Like in the real estate bubble here, that's, I guess, kind of considered a bubble. If we do go down, it's going to go down max 15, 20%. It's not going to be Bitcoin where it goes down 90%. Okay. Everyone is like, oh, now's not a good time to buy a house. You know, well, truthfully, buying a house is like buying Bitcoin. There's never a bad time to really buy Bitcoin if you're going to hold on to the asset forever, because it's an appreciating asset. Buying real estate is, over the last 50 years, has been an appreciating asset. You have not lost money if you've bought and hold, right? You know, but that's simple investing that people don't understand. If you're flipping stuff, then yeah, you got to pay attention to, you know, if you're flipping a house, you don't want to buy a house that's $1 million when, you know, 2 years ago it was 700,000, you know, 600,000. So you got to play. People that flip houses, they're kind of like technical traders in the housing market. But I'm going on a tangent here. Leverage should be used as a tool, but it should also be money management. Okay, so when people, I never try to leverage trade on over 15x. Over 15x is, you're just asking for trouble because your stops are so close together. If you're new to trading and if you're new to Bybit, dude, seriously, 2 to 5% will help, right? You know, so if you have $10 and you're trading it as 2 times, that's $100. Right? That people don't understand how massive that is. You know, and big traders, okay, that's what they do as well. You know, you put up 500 grand, you're trading it like $1 million, okay? The asset only has to go up 50% for you to make back what you were risking. Okay, but I know there's a lot of people on the internet that show you like 30% and all sorts of stuff, and it's all sexy because it looks like they're at 500% profit and no. They're just not telling you your losses. All right, they're just not showing you the losses. Which my Bitcoin trade currently right now, I'm down 25% in it, but I showed you where my stop is. My Ethereum trade, I am down. I'm not even down. My entry was 1575. I showed you last night where it was at. I'm just holding it open, right? And I'm at, I believe, 7x on my Ethereum. And then I am 8x on my silly VPN. I should have just had it open here in another tab. And I need to do that for you guys more when I go live so that I'm not just sitting here flipping around with stuff. But, okay, so yeah, I'm up 1% and I'm down 18% in my Bitcoin trade. And then I actually opened up a trade yesterday on ADA at, I'm actually 12x on ADA. I am 7 on Bitcoin and I am 8 on Ethereum, right? But my biggest, I guess, tip would be, if you're using leverage, is you want to make sure that you're using low enough leverage to look at your liquidation point. Okay, so before you open up the order, and I'll probably make a tutorial about this because this is content that I would want to see if I was new to stuff. You know, like, how do I do this? How is this less scary? You know, how do I make this set myself up for success kind of a deal? You know, you don't just hit buy and go for it, right? And go 100x. No. If you want to trade off of this bounce, like, let's just, for an example, let's say I was trading off this bounce here at 1570. You know, I might have a limit order in for that area, but I might just say, hey, I need to get a market in because it seems like we might be bouncing up here. Where would I put my stop? Dun, dun, dun. So if I'm looking at, let me open up the volume profile again on the hour. Where do I see the next level of support? So the volume is 1550, right? That's kind of the bottom here, but that seems fairly risky. But I don't see on the 1 hour, this is looking like it's just a range. We are just in a range. I could honestly move this range to here. So I don't see anything fairly like, okay, what is breaking a trend? So breaking a trend would be breaking below the day low because it's bounced from, you know, a few hours ago, yesterday, of the low. So therefore, again, if I was entering on the 1 hour, I need to have my stops and everything on the 1 hour. Okay, so let me just open up this long here. And, you know, my first take profit would just be resistance, okay? Because the chances are we'll probably play that again. If it were to bounce, it was not just going to go to the moon. It might end up retracing back and doing this a little bit longer. So I want to leave open the trade so that I'm part of this, but I want to take profit so I don't just watch my profits go up and then tank again. All right, so let's say my entry, you know, was relatively where we're at right now, okay, which truthfully it's where I am, but I traded on the daily, right? And I would say that my stop for leverage, right, would be I want to be under where it was the low. And if I want to be a little bit safer, I might end up going not an even number here. I might say like 1537 or something. That's 1538. That's okay. So that's a 1 to 5, 1.5 risk ratio. You know, so I'm risking 1 to make 1.5. That's not bad. You know, take profits here, meaning I would sell a portion, right? And I would leave the trade open. For me, I like playing the 50% game. So when I open a trade, I'll open a trade and then I wait until I have 50% profit. And then it's just kind of like a psychological, and honestly, I might wait a little bit longer depending upon where it is. If my 50% is here, I might hold out a little bit longer until I hit a level of resistance, just so that I kind of maximize where my profit is. But rule of thumb for me is I sell half. When I have 50%, I sell half. I take it right off the table, take profits, boom. Okay. And then for me, selling that half, I don't have to move my stop. I can keep it in this range just in case we continue on the range here. And if price ends up going all the way down to my stop, boom, and then goes down, I get out, but I get out for a 0 loss. You know, you might be thinking, Johnny, hey, no, that's a 100% loss on your trade because you hit your stop. And I'm like, no, it's not, because I took 50% profit and I cut the trade in half. Okay, so 100% of half is actually 50%. So I just have a zero gain, right? And then my next step is, because I like to stack, okay? I like to stack. I like to take profits, leave it open, and then I want to be a part of any other move that happens, because it's happened too much time where I take everything off the table and then I kind of have that feeling of, dang it, because it ends up going to the moon and I would have made 2x, 3x as much money. So you don't want to do that. This is just my strategy. You guys can have your own strategy, but my strategy is, my first take profit is 50%. I don't move my stop. Then I find an area that is another take profit, okay? And so if I'm trading off the 1 hour, hypothetically, this would be my trade, right? My next take profit, see, there's a lot of here coming in here, would be relatively around this area, okay? So my next take profit be here, and I like to cut maybe a third off of that. Now I might do half, again, depending upon what I see the market is going, is because once I enter a trade, it's not just over with. Now it turns into, how do I actively manage this trade money wise, right? I don't just set it and forget it. I got to look at it, see where it's going, adjust my position size if need be, get out, cut my losses if it's just obviously something happened in the market fundamentally where the Fed comes out and they say, hey, inflation has gone up by 0.3%, which is, in my opinion, complete bullshit. Inflation is really like 25%, but semantics, okay? Where I was getting at is at my second take profit, that's when I moved my stop up to break even. So now I took 50% profit. I took another third, maybe 3/4 off on the second take profit. So now I've locked in profits, and there's no way that I'm even going to come out with a zero loss, right? That is my strategy, and it's done well for me. Does it do well for me? And Mr. XFD, you said, do you scale your trades? Yeah, that's what I do. I'm not a big fan of, there's another way of scaling is, like adding to a position. I know at the beginning here that I was like, hey, this is enticing on the daily for Bitcoin for me. I almost want to scale into the trade, and it's a little bit different on this aspect because both of my trades have been open for a while. And because of that, I haven't lost any money. I've made money. And so there's no way for me to lose money until I did what I've done, where I've entered back in. So I didn't add to a losing position because I already took profits on it, right? I was playing with house money, but I just put my own money back in. So I scaled in again. That's when I would scale in again, okay? That's just, again, my style. I am more of a swing trader. I like to trade the daily, the 8 hour, the 12 hour, sometimes maybe the 4 hour, but I do not like the scalping method of 5 minutes to 30 minutes to 1 hour, because you have to just be sitting here staring at the screen the entire time. And, I like to go work out. I like to go run my dogs. I like to play with my family, do stuff with my daughter, go to the museum, that sort of thing. And I don't want to just constantly be worrying about the market here, because crypto doesn't end. It's open 24/7. Okay. But that's pretty much what I'm giving you guys for right now. There's not much else to talk about besides, hey, will we get back above 20,000? Is Bitcoin going to start to be bullish there by getting above 20,000 and finding a level of support, which it's basically had, 19,000, a break below 19,000 would be incredibly bearish for me, would be incredibly bearish where it's like shit. Okay. But I wouldn't mind seeing a wick that goes down there, down to because here I'm on the 1 hour, right? But I'm on the 1 hour. We can see, here's a little range here. We break down into 19,300-ish. Now, our level of support is going to be, new lows, potentially new lows, which could be bad. And for me on the daily, on my current trade, that's still above my stop, okay? Because I don't feel that we're going to make new lows. So that's what I'm betting on. And I'm betting on because of this whole Ethereum merge, right? That's now happening in, 11 hours, 12 minutes is what the difficulty's saying. It just recently said it's gone up in time. The merge has gone up in time. I'm going to have to do some Googling as to why that happens, because when I started the stream, correct me if I'm wrong, we were at 10 hours, like 59 minutes. So it went up by 15 minutes. not plus or minus the 30 minutes that I've been sitting here talking. Okay. But before I leave, let me just answer with a daily job, scalp for me is not possible. Yeah. Scalping is incredibly difficult, guys. Okay. But truth be told, right now, everything is on sale. Everything is on sale. My price targets for Ethereum are no shit, 20, 30 grand, in the next 5-10 years, right? Bitcoin, I'm a big proponent to believing that Bitcoin is going to $1 million. So I don't mind buying this stuff for long-term assets. Cardano, I think is really a $10 coin. It's at 47%. Solana is kind of a competitor to Ethereum in there. So therefore it's worth taking a look at. Dogecoin, I think is going to zero, just Matic, a layer 2. There's places for layer 2s. Tether, not a big believer in stable coins. I think there's a lot of manipulation that goes on there. But, my biggest believers are definitely Bitcoin and Ethereum. I like Cardano. Avalanche, not decent. Chainlink, big believer in Chainlink. Kronos, for crypto.com, I think these two tokens are going to be around because they're just big exchanges. Stellar potentially could be a big competitor to XRP, so I like those. So if I'm looking at companies, projects that I'm bullish on, those are kind of those. I can go more in depth later on, guys, but I could just talk and talk and talk. I'm going to let you guys go about your Wednesday, and I'll probably maybe be back this afternoon, depending upon if I see anything in the market go pump. But I'll definitely be back tomorrow so we can talk more about what's actually going on with Ethereum. But truthfully, guys, I've been buying Bitcoin. I've been buying Ethereum. I haven't just been trading it. I've been buying and holding it, for ever since we got into a bear market, because I'm holding this stuff on because it's on sale. It's on sale. Just like this damn dirt bike, $10,000 dirt bike. If tomorrow, same bike was $8 grand, I'd be all over it. But anyway, I appreciate every one of you. Hey, please like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see a little bit more. I will have some tutorials out more on trading and just some content that if I was new, how I would want to get into stuff and just have less stress of trying to figure it out on my own. Okay, I think that's going to be incredibly important. But till next time, this is Johnny Crypto. I'm here to help you guys make some money.